Hi there. Have you ever felt like the whole system is rigged? Have you felt like everything is just working against you, and it doesn't matter how hard you try, every day just seems like a struggle, an uphill struggle? In this video I'm going to tell you that actually that's not so far from the truth, at least when it comes to money and the financial systems and the hard times we are entering now. I went to business school and I've spent many hours studying these topics, but I would not consider myself an expert, and I am certainly not a financial advisor. But before I continue with this video, please consider subscribing. It is extremely important that we keep talking about this, that we are aware of what's going on. If you like the video, give it a like, and you might even consider subscribing to this channel. Your politicians want to keep you poor. Yeah, that's a fact. At least now they want to keep you poor. Now, why is that? Well, it's because we have inflation. Entire nations can go bankrupt if they have a very high inflation. Now, okay, I promise I'm going to keep this very short, very brief. So the tools that are being used now to battle the inflation are quite crude and primitive. One tool is your central bank. I think it's called central bank in English. They lend money to the banks, and the banks lend money to you. So the central bank will set an interest rate, right? And that's the price of money. If they want people to spend less money, they increase the interest rate, and that's what they're doing now. And why is that? Well, because when you have to pay more every month on that loan that you took to buy that car or that house, your buying power goes down. And another tool is, and it's not very often talked about honestly, but it's taxes. You might get the odd Freudian slip from your politicians, but they increase taxes obviously to get more money from you, but they also increase taxes to lower your buying power, to decrease your buying power. So higher taxes means that you have less money to spend. I'm not saying those are the only tools that can be used to fight inflation, but they are being applied now. It's quite obvious. There are nuances to this, but I'm trying to just lay out those two basic tools, and we are seeing those two tools being applied now. So the fact is that your politicians, they do not want you to have too much money to spend, because when people spend a lot of money, the prices tend to go up. There's a reason why I'm calling these tools primitive and crude, because they don't really take into account what's happening now. There isn't enough stuff around to buy. And it has to do with, at least partly, the war in the Ukraine. So there's a very simple mechanism concerning supply and demand. And right now, we don't have enough supply, and that drives the prices up. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you probably have quite an independent mindset, and you don't have a naive trust in government either. But there are lots of people out there who still think that the government will save them, and they still believe that the government will keep them at a certain standard of living your government, they won't save you. That's not, they might say that they're going to look after you, but they don't view saving you as part of what they do, of their responsibility. That's not what they're doing, and that's not their goal. You're just one of millions of cogs in the machinery, so to speak. So we need to look after ourselves and do not trust big government to fix things for you. I do not believe in a society that depends on consumerism. I think it's devastating for your mental health, the environment, and for, I'd like to call it real growth in society, if you will. But I believe that you should buy what you need, stuff that you find useful, and stuff that you will need. I mean, I'm talking to a rather expensive camera now, but I need that camera. You know, I feel I need it, so I bought it. That's not consumerism, the way I see it. Consumerism is buying stuff that you don't need, you know. So here's the thing, we need an alternative, and I'm not a hippie. I'm not one of those guys who have this naive perception of how we can change everything. But I do believe that we should move towards, and I think it was the Woodlander who called it localism, the opposite of globalism. We need the communities, the local communities. And I'm sitting in in this area now where I am right now. There are lots of these stone circles, and people would gather there, the local communities, to settle disputes and for religious occasions, of course, and we have these signs and memories in the landscape that we can touch, that tells us that people, they managed and they thrived with localism. Now the world is different now, but not so very different. I mean, globalism depends on consumerism, depends on people being kept at a certain level of financial freedom, not too much. And I feel that we need to break out of that. I feel that we need to strengthen the local communities and personal freedom. I can tell you that one of the reasons why I did not pursue a career in finance or business administration is that as I was studying these topics, I saw that this whole system depends on people being consumers, or rather the whole system is about making people buy stuff. And I don't see how that is going to make the world better. I think actually it's not going to make the world better. It's going to make the world more polluted, it's going to make people depressed and miserable. So we should get back to our roots. We should get back to what really matters, and we need to get out of this system where you are manipulated, controlled, and kept in that box, where you're told to be happy, and don't you ask any questions. Pay your taxes and don't ask any questions. I do not have all the answers, but I feel that right now it's an opportunity. I do not believe in the current system. I do not believe that we should I do not believe that we have to go back to how it used to be. And other people are saying that as well. For instance, Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset and all that. Now he's saying that, well, it's a golden opportunity to reset everything. Yeah. I do not think that the Great Reset is going to be great. I think it's going to be a nightmare, and I don't think globalism and increased control and taking the ability to own stuff away from people is going to make the world a better place. It's something I have previously called feudalism 2.0, because that's basically what it is, feudalism. We don't want to get back to that. We don't want that, do we? Well, some people want that. Klaus Schwab and his fine friends, his millionaire friends, billionaire friends, they certainly want that. Okay, so this was just a short video here from me, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you're still listening, thank you for that. I'm actually out here investigating some caves. Now, I can tell you I don't like caves, but I'm fascinated by caves. But since I was buried by an avalanche many years ago now, I have this fear of caves and things like that. But yeah, it's fascinating. And this spot here, it's actually the first time I'm here in this spot, and yeah, so I'm going to continue investigating a little bit. And if I didn't say so already, please consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to me actually if you do that. And yeah, I think that's all for now. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay strong.